Hey guys, it's Poochie. I am going to go through a lot of stuff with you today. I have notes. We're going to talk about Poshmark, Mercari, Depop, Puma, which a lot of people are talking about. We're going to talk about our marketplace, thebins.net, our brick and mortar store, a little bit about Whatnot, Reseller Sourcing Connection, the new Facebook group, and sales. And not only sales on one account, we're going to go through sales on a few of our accounts, including hard goods. So not just clothing today. So that's a lot. Let's get into it. We have thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of things. The one thing I require is for sellers on the bins to promote the site. I do a lot of promoting of the site. I promote on X, which used to be Twitter sometimes, and daily, several times a day, we promote listings on Facebook and on Instagram. So the site is growing. We have more members. We're getting more members, and I'm doing pretty well there. You can do live selling if you're a seller, or you can do standard selling. So these are someone else's listings, but mine. The thing that's really cool is that these are my listings. The thing that is really cool, and here's me going live. My little head there, big giant head. The thing that's really cool is it all gets listed on Google, right? So I get sales from Google from people who aren't even members of District or aren't even members of the bins, because it all shows up on Google, which is cool. And the other thing, if you have eBay inventory, like I have, like 8,000 things, 7,500, 8,000 things on eBay, that we're whittling down. We're getting smaller inventory, which is good. But you can easily upload your entire inventory from eBay. You sign up for District, you come over to the bins, and you sign up as a seller. And I do not accept everybody. You have to have good feedback and a good selling history on other platforms, because I want my buyers on thebins.net to be safe. So you sign up, and you can just tell the bins or tell District your website and what marketplace, like the bins, you want to put it on. So you say, hey, my eBay ID is, Poochie's Pickers 2. Here's a link. And I want to put everything on the bins. So they will go through, watch this. This is uploading 50 listings from my eBay right now onto the bins. So this is how I am listing 50 items right now on the bins, is this CSV importer. So they send you a list. They say, make sure you don't have any changes in the prices. You don't want to do anything different with shipping. If you want to do combined shipping, then add a dollar amount for every item extra that they buy. It's really cool because basically they do it all for you. You just say, here's my website, and then they send you a CSV and say, okay, check this. If there's any changes or anything you don't want to upload, fix it. But I didn't do any of that, and I just sent it back to them, and then they send you CSV files, 50 items at a time, so it's easy to import. So I am importing 50 items right now, and I think I have imported well over 5,000 by now onto this site. And like I said, I do pretty good. I've done 14 sales, 569.90 on this site, and I think that's actually more than I've done on Mercari. That's definitely more than I've done on Depop lately. So it is uploading, and if you look, let me see, if you want to list manually, you click list item, And then it's so easy. You do buy it now or auction. Let's do buy it now. And then you just put the images, right? Your title, your description, the buy it now, right? If you want to accept offers, your shipping, and then your tags. Here are the different tags that we have on the bins. So is this electronics? Do you have a Game Boy? Is it a pair of Nikes? Is it a lot of 10 t-shirts? And then you post it. That's simple. Yes, I want to close. It is that simple though. Close. So it's still importing. So it doesn't take long though. It takes like, I think 3 minutes, 2 or 3 minutes for everyone that uploads. The other thing I want to talk about is the brick and mortar store. The brick and mortar store is doing really, really well. We have been open, I think, a little over a month. And we had a great Black Friday. We had a great Black Sunday, Black Saturday, a little slow. I think people might have been worn out, but we are selling a lot of stuff. We're doing a lot of discounts. We're doing a promotion right now that is, and we can afford to do this. See, now it's done. That's how long it took. Now let me show you how I'm going to do another one. Right, I just click import, drag and drop file, and what I do is I delete the last file, right? And then click the next one, and then import, and then it's going to go and do its thing, right? So in the store, we've got a new promotion Betsy thought up, is the elf on the shelf. If you find the elf in the store, and she's hiding it pretty good. I told her, hide it good. Don't make it easy. And so if they find the elf on the shelf in the store, they get 25% off their purchase, which is great, right? So the store is doing really well. And one of the reasons I got a store, I've wanted a store for a while, but I teamed up with another business and we kind of went in together. They were moving. It's Drea's business. And so she was moving. And so it's just kind of, she has one part, I have the other part, and it is working out really well. But another reason is somebody was talking about storage units and doing their business out of a storage unit. Here's the thing I found with storage units, and we've used 3 different storage unit companies here. You're in there for a couple months and they raise it. And they don't raise it a little, they raise it like $100. We usually get 10 by 25 or 10 by 30. So you're in there a few months and they raise the rate. And it's just crap. But every single one of them has done it. And it's not like they say, on one of them it was in the contract supposedly, but I didn't see it in the contract, that, it's introductory offer and then they're going to raise it. But 2 of the places, it's been their normal rate, right? And then after 2 or 3 months, they raise it like $75, $100, which, is crazy. So that is one of the reasons for the store. And I'm actually cutting inventory so it can all fit in the store and get out of, the storage unit, because we have stuff all over the place. Literally, I have so much inventory. So that is a goal, is to get it out of there. Whatnot, I wanted to talk to you about one thing about Whatnot. They're doing this thing where the top sellers, right? If you become this, this platinum level seller or whatever they call it, you get more visibility, which is great. But they really should do something for the new sellers, I feel like, because the top sellers already have that visibility. They're already doing great. So what they could be doing is taking the lower sellers who are maybe growing and giving them more visibility. So I feel like Whatnot, the way they're doing that, is wrong. See, there's another 50 imported. We're going to do another one, and then we're going to move on to other things because I have so much to talk about. And I'm going to delete that one that I just did, and I put another one, and boom. Okay, then it's all going to be uploaded on the bins and available for sale. There's the bins right there. So thebins.net, make sure you come over and join us over there. The other thing is, Reseller Sourcing Connection is the new Facebook group that I opened. My friend Shelly had one before that had thousands and thousands of members, and someone posted Prana shoes. And Facebook went, your group's done. So that sucks, right? So I started one because she was like, I don't want to do it again. I don't want to have to, approve every post. So I started one that is called the Reseller Sourcing Connection. And this is for resellers who want to buy, resellers who want to buy and want to sell wholesale, okay? Because there are a lot of resellers. You can only list so much, right? So there are a lot of resellers that find more than they can list. That's where death piles come in, right? So many people have death piles. So I started this group. Shelly started her group, and I started this group after hers got taken down because there are so many people who buy more than you can sell, right? So you list some and then you wholesale the rest. And for specifically wholesalers who have no interest in selling on any platform, they just like to source. So they source, they get stuff, they send it, they make several $100s a month or, $100 a month, $100 a week, whatever they want to make. So this group, only approved sellers, we go through and we check every single seller in this group. Every seller will have a group expert tag next to their name or an admin tag like me. And so that every time you see a lot, it has been approved by us. They have been approved as a seller by us. And anyone that has issues in the group, if I find there being issues in the group with a seller or a buyer, they will be removed. So let's go in here. Here's Nikki, and she has a Drive document that is clothing. So here's all her wholesale lots she has listed in the group. Coats, mature, that's probably for older women's style, as opposed to trendy down here, spring and summer, which is coming up. Plus size, men's everyday lot, and mature number 2. So let's just look at coats, and I'll show you what they're doing in our group here.
Today is lot number 52, coats and jackets and outerwear. Total of 8 items for $35.
So there's 8 items for $35. They're going to run us through every item. They're going to tell us what it is.
Great condition.
They're going to tell us what size it is.
Small snuggler snow pants. They are adjustable.
Okay. They go through it. They'll show you, Nikki will show you any damage. So that is how they do it. So if you want to buy this lot, you would just click on Nikki's name and message her or comment below, hey, I want to buy the blah, blah, blah lot, right? So if you are a reseller looking to source from wholesalers, if you are a reseller who resells but you buy too much to resell, this is a group for you. Or if you're a wholesaler, you just like to source. So again, it is Resellers Sourcing Connection. So join us over there because we're going to have more stuff like this. God, the birds today. The birds love to be a part of the videos, I swear. So I apologize for them, but they're just saying hi. I'm going to have more stuff like this, Resellers Connection things. Probably going to have a retail arbitrage group, and we're going to have a lot of help for resellers is the goal. So join the group Reseller Sourcing Connection. Now, moving on. I said sales, right? We were going to talk about sales. Okay, let's get into the sales. I'm going to do this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do clothing, and then I'm going to do hard goods, and then I'm going to do clothing. Okay, so this is 3 eBay accounts that I'm doing here. Let's see, and this is all the sales, so you will see everything, the good stuff, the bad stuff. I have a lot of stuff on sale because I'm trying to whittle down the inventory to get rid of a lot of the meh stuff, right? So Le Tigre shirt sold for $15. This members only Le Tigre I thought would be better because they're vintage from the 80s. They're really not usually. Members only jacket sold for $25. Talbot's pants, I've had these for quite a while, sold for $11.17 on sale. Croft and Barrow, not a brand I like to get, sold for $11.64. These Arizona Christian University shorts sold for $12. Magellan outdoor pants sold for $8. This is where you're seeing that I'm taking a lot of offers, or I'm making a lot of offers, or I have stuff on sale that's really, really low because it's stuff I want to get rid of and get out of inventory. Once I get rid of this stuff like Magellan pants and Croft and Barrow jacket, sweatshirt here, I have room for other things. I have room for Dixon. I have room for Eileen Fisher. I have room for some of the good brands. J. Crew. I almost said her name. J. Crew. This herringbone roll tab blouse sold for $20. This Five Brothers shirt, it's got really nice colors, right? Sold for $11.76. This is a papillon dog shirt. Who's your pappy? Cute, right? Sold for $18. Duluth Trading, $12. Duluth Trading has been hit and miss lately. Some of it I've been doing really well with. Some of it is meh. Big meh. Banana Republic should not have sold this that low, probably because it was new with tag, but hasta la vista, we had it long enough. Zara is not really a brand I'm picking up anymore unless it's plus size, sold for $18.37. This is a cool vest, not a great brand, Walls vest, but it is a quilt lined vest. So chore, barn, workwear, right? All keywords, sold for $24.22. This is something I got for Betsy. It just didn't do it for her, so we sold it for $18.37. Democracy leggings sold for $10. We had those a while. H&M divided skirt. Mistake picking up H&M. Unless there's some style-based thing going on, do not pick up H&M. Vineyard Vines has crashed and burned. It is the wrong season for shorts, so I sold these for only $8.23. Collezione Italia wool blazer. We have too many wool blazers and suit coats, so I sold it for $18.62. Sims sweatshirt, this sold for $30. Vintage Eddie Bauer jacket sold for $22. Tommy Bahama shirt sold for $18. The Outback sweatshirt, this was kind of cool, sold for $15.99. North Face sold for $14.20. This is a beautiful alpaca connection sweater. Look at the design on this, how pretty it is. Sold for $29.98. Doncaster shirt, 1X, sold for $8. BKE jeans sold for $15. Roberto Volini, new with tag, sold for $21.17. American Quarter Horse Association sold for $20, that vintage t-shirt. LL Bean, this is a dress, looks like a long shirt. Corduroy, it sold for $21. Here's another Franco Tassi sports coat, wool and silk, sold for $18.74. These are great prices, right? If you're a buyer, these are great prices. And these are Poochie, get it out of the warehouse prices, because we have to get better inventory and get rid of some of this stuff that is meh. Legendary Whitetails is sold for a nice price because I think the size is 2X and it's a nice pattern. Sold for $22. Tommy Bahama sold for $19, almost $20. Alfred Dunner, another one that we don't buy, but this one has wiener dogs, dachshunds, and it's Christmas. And Christmas stuff I am selling. If people make an offer, I am, yep. Yep, I'll take it because I want to get rid of it. $20. I don't want to have Christmas on December 25th. You know what I mean? Harmony Balance sweatshirt sold for $14. Vintage Enough sweatshirt sold for $17.79. Ralph Lauren $15. Brooks Brothers $18. Brooks Brothers is pretty much bread and butter. We can sell Brooks Brothers for over $15 every time we get it, unless it's just a plain polo shirt. So we usually pick those up at the thrift for like $4.50 or less. $20 for this Outback Trading Company shirt. Beautiful design. Red Moon sweater. This is actually coming back because it was too big for the person. Cashmere, but we'll sell it again because it's cashmere. Party dudes. This is Michelangelo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, sold for $25. La Sarah dress sold for $22.50. Ralph Lauren sold for $18. Brooks Brothers, again, like I said, so it sells for above $15. Now, white dress shirts, men's, they're always looking for them. So if it's a decent brand, I always try to pick those up because white long sleeve dress shirts or, just basic shirts like that always sell if it's a decent brand. Tactical sweater sold for $28.56. Innerlight Surfboard House sold for $19. Adidas jacket sold for $17. Zelo sold for $7.87. What? That's crazy. Prana sold for $31.58. Military Army sold for $17. And this Abercrombie & Fitch sold for $6 because we've had it a long time. The SKU number is old, and I wanted to get rid of it. Now, like I said, I told you we're going to do hard goods, right? Let's do it. This is one of our hard goods. This is another one of our eBay accounts. This is all hard goods, pretty much. Hasbro Superhero Mashers. We have a lot of new in-box toys. Okay, new in box, new on card like this one on this account. So this account sells vintage, antique, and new. So let's go through and see what sold. $33.95 is what this sold for. Marvel Black Cat. These are all older, but still new in box, right? Sold for $18.80. The Poop. Get Poo Done sold for $24 on the coffee mug. This is a really cool bear birdhouse. Look at the bears. Really, really nice. Would look great at someone's cabin. Sold for $30. This is old Mr. Boston Deluxe Bartender's Guide book from 1941. It sold for $30. Madewell Scarf head wrap sold for $30. This is a film cell. So what this is a little teeny tiny cell of the film from the movie. They took a big film roll of the movie and just clipped it up, and that is Heath Ledger as the Joker. So $34.99 it sold for. This Big Hero 6 sold for $36.12. Now remember, most of this is new in box, but it's older. Furry Bones figurine sold for $15. Those are pretty cool, right? They all have the little skull faces. Snap Circuits Skill Builder Coating, $24.99. The Pendleton beanie sold for $30. The Knockabout Club. Look at the cover on this, guys. Sold for $35. These shoes, oh yeah. If you watch the Can Anyone Do It video on this channel a while back, it has a Goodwill. It has the guy wearing a suit and a mask. This was an Andrew purchase, and it took a long time to sell, but it finally sold, and he made net profit of $7.50. Even though they only sold for $13.16, he made a net profit of $7.50, which, he's happy with. Bob Ross Artist Ink pen set. These are pens shaped like paintbrushes, sold for $17.32. This is a appetizer plates from Magnolia Stoneware, sold for $25. This is My Little Pony Equestria Girls. So it's a My Little Pony, but it's an actual girl doll. $49.68 it sold for. This I love it. I sold these for $22.99 each. I sold 3 of them, and I paid at a church garage sale or rummage sale 50 cents each. So Betsy thought I was crazy, but sold 53 of them. I paid 50 cents, and I sold them for $22.99 each. This is a Power Rangers Black Ranger 1861 it sold for. Porkies and Porkies too. If you know, you know. Beulah Ballbreaker. Sold for $12.61. This is an old Louisville Refining Company large advertising tray that sold for $21.24. This is a Turkish plate. We got these from ASD in Las Vegas. We had a bunch of these, and they've been selling really well for the holiday here. Sold for $39.98. Peter Griffin Family Guy Funko Pop sold for $64.34. A Batman Orange sold for $18.61. 2 pairs of Toasties slippers sold for $16.14. Rocket Raccoon keychain sold for $12.86. This is one of those little bobbleheads. You put it in the sun and it bobbles, sold for $12.34. This sandwich making kit, we have these coming out of our ears, guys, $10.34. I'll probably be putting some of them possibly on the reseller sourcing connection because I have so many. ColourPop, $11.28. My Little Pony Pinkie Pie, $97 it sold for, guys. It's still in the plastic and unopened. Picked this up at Goodwill like a few weeks ago for $1.69. It sold for $19.99. The Tommy Bahama. Friends coffee mug, $24 it sold for. Einstein magnetic dress up. Such a cool item. You put it on your fridge or whatever you have that's magnetic, and then you can dress Einstein however you want. Sold for $25. My favorite people call me Dad mug, $14.88. South Park mouse pad. This is South Fart. Sold for $27.26. This rare antique 1920s scrapbook it has. So scrapbook, if you don't know, is something that someone just put. It's not a photo album, but it's something you put newspaper clippings or old Victorian trade cards. It's a book with sheets, and you just glued stuff to the sheets, whether they were postcards, whether they were newspaper clippings, etc. This sold for almost $200. It had clippings of Charles Lindbergh, silent film stars. I went through it because I love paper, and as you can see there, vintage baseball team. It was a really cool scrapbook. Some vintage paper can be worth a lot of money. Battlestar Galactica lunch box with a dent. Sold for $42.31. X-Acto pencil sharpener, $32.91. Royal Doulton. This is a little flower basket, sold for $23.50. DVD sold for Frogs, $15.98. A ooze tube sold for $12.22. The Hobbit DVD sold for $47.02. Some DVDs can be worth a lot of money, especially if they are out of print, which is OOP. That's the term they use. Sony DCR. So it is a basically Handycam, sold for $75.99. This is a 1950s little plastic toy, sold for $12. The Elf, I think that has like glitter in there that moves around, sold for $14.88. This little rabbit cup with the lid, $15.82. Spider-Man sold for $25. This Planet of the Apes, $33. The Supergirl wallet, $18. Tesla, actually, that's an armrest cover. I got that from one of those Amazon bin dollar stores. So nice profit. These I got just because my mom was an Avon lady for 50 years, man. And I remember when these came out. So I got these. They sold for $16. This is Assassin's Creed mug, sold for $27. I got this for $1. This Chi-Chi's margarita glass. Chi-Chi's, if you haven't heard, is coming back, is what I heard, in 2025. We shall see. This eucalyptus scalp care sold for $16. The Walking Dead Carol sold for $18. This little mechanical bank sold for $24. This little puppy with the squeaker sold for $14.43. A drain sold for $17. A knife sold for $15. A pink Batman sold for $19. Nordstrom scarf sold for $35. We sell it all. Here is another account, and I'm going to show you what sold on this one. This is a North Dakota State University Nike hoodie, sold for $26. Ralph Lauren waffle knit thermal sleepwear. The Ralph Lauren sleepwear doesn't sell that great. It doesn't sell for that much money. So keep that in mind if you're, see something really cool, Ralph Lauren, and it's sleepwear. It's kind of meh. Nike SB shirt sold for $20. This area code jersey, Nike with the center swoosh, which is what you want to look for in Nike, is a center swoosh. People like that. Sold for $16. Chicago Blackhawks sold for $23.99. Echo Unlimited, the Y2K brand, sold for $18. This red Buffalo Bills hoodie sold for $24. Now this was returned, and then we sold it again right away as soon as we relisted it. Levi's 514 jeans sold for $20. Echo Unlimited sweatshirt sold for $23. Really cool design on this one. This is a vintage pirate shirt. Go stucco yourself. 70s or 80s, I think. Sold for $28. Carhartt shirt. This is Carhartt and Guinness collab. So you see the Carhartt logo there and the Guinness logo here. It sold for $28. Lucky Brand jeans sold for $20. San Diego Chargers sold for $20. Disney Park sweatshirt. This actually was returned. No. It was from someone in Canada. This was sold to someone in Canada. And when you do eBay international shipping, I try to help people out when I can, but I only ship outside the USA eBay international shipping. Well, they have the Canada mail strike. So eBay, of course, told this person, after they paid eBay a fortune for shipping to ship it through eBay International, eBay told them, contact the seller and have them ship it UPS or FedEx. So eBay is telling buyers, right? And this buyer said that eBay told her that on another item as well. So eBay is telling their Canadian buyers to go to the US sellers and say, hey, eBay told me to tell you to ship it UPS or FedEx. But that eBay has already taken the money for the international shipping, right? If you ship, right, via UPS or FedEx, it's not going to get forwarded. So it's like, that was a mess. And this buyer was so pissed off at me. And I was like, hey, I have to ship to the address eBay gives me. That's the, one in Illinois or whatever, where they forward it. And they were just pissed. You're not being cooperative, and you're not, you're paid $9.99 to me for shipping. You paid eBay for, within the USA, you paid eBay for shipping outside the USA. Anyway, we ended up canceling the order, but they were just pissed. And if they leave a negative feedback, I'm going to be really upset, because the Canadian mail strike, not my fault. Disney Park sweatshirt, it sold for $22. It looks like it sold for a little under $22. Quicksilver shirt. Quicksilver's a popular brand with skaters, people who like the streetwear and the skating clothes, sold for $16. Sleeping Bear shirt, it's very hard to see, but it sold for $19. This Keith Haring. Now, this women's 810, it looked like a kid's, but it was not. It was a women's 810. Sold for $27. This Disney sold for $23. We had this a long, long time, so I was very happy to sell it. Charles Tyrwhitt is another brand that is not like it used to be, but it is a classic white or light color men's shirt. And with the better brands, like Charles Tyrwood is, a better known brand, they usually sell. Keith Haring, I love Keith Haring stuff. He's one of my very favorite artists, so I love when I find this stuff. Sold for $22. The Sunoco racing hat with the flames sold for $35. It took a while, but it did sell. Adidas sweatshirt sold for $21. New York Yankees shirt 5X sold for $25. This is a great shirt. I love this. This is like Spirit jersey style. Waikiki Beach Hawaii shirt sold for $22. The West Point shirt, single stitch, sold for $29. The Wolf shirt, this is a youth, but it is Y2K 90s era, and we could not tell because the tag has been clipped, but you could tell in other ways that it was either 90s or Y2K. Adidas sweatshirt sold for $35. Cool stripe design on here with the 1 blue, 2 red. Scent blocker pants for hunters sold for $25. Polo Ralph Lauren, very simple, plain. Glad to get rid of it. Sold for $18.61. We do not buy these anymore, even if they're 50 cents. Well, maybe if it's 50 cents, but $1, we just don't buy them because they're hard to sell. There's a ton of them on. Abercrombie and Fitch jeans, $22.49. South Pole shirt sold really cheap, $15, but we had it a long time. New York Islanders jersey sold for just under $37. The Wizard of Barge shirt sold for $19, but we actually could not find this, so we had to cancel the order. I know I am wearing the badge of shame, but that is not actually my fault. That is the crew's fault. Really. Kooky shirt. This is a really cool design on the front. Sold for $30. Big Ball Sports, Lonzo Ball and LaMelo Ball and all those ball dudes, sold for $18.74. That's their brand or their dad's brand. Under Armour shirt, nothing special, sold for $15. This had a lot of interest. I should have probably priced it higher. Polo Ralph Lauren with the R and the looks like a tiger and then the skull and crossbones. Sold for $18.74. Tommy Hilfiger jeans sold for $16. This was a good one. Close Up Washington, D.C. sold for $52.49. That is a single stitch shirt from the 80s, and it is 80s ladies shirt. This one sold for $22.49. Audie Murphy, the Audie Murphy Hero Run. If you don't know anything about Audie Murphy, you should look it up because he was, I'm not sure if he still is, the most decorated war hero ever. My dad taught me all about him. Operation Desert Storm, Storm and Norman t-shirt sold for $20. This is a cool design. I think it sold for $12 or $13. Zara with the tartan plaid skull. Outer Banks sweatshirt. I relisted this and it sold right away. The other listing, I think the title wasn't that great. I'm not sure, or it was overpriced or both. Vintage Crescent City shirt. This sold for $16.87. Morgan Wallen doing the naughty finger gesture. Sold for $18.74. Carhartt shirt. Carhartt's hit and miss. We had this a long time, so I was happy to get rid of it. Sold for $11. United Colors of Benetton sold for $16. We're almost done, guys, I promise. The fishing shirt, skeleton in the boat. Someday my fish will come. I think that sold for $15. Vintage Team USA. Somebody said, this is so funny. Somebody offered me less and said the reason was, it's really faded. So I think you should take less because it's really faded. And my reply was, a lot of people think that's what makes it worth more money is because it's faded. A lot of people like that vintage faded look. And obviously the person who paid full price for this agrees. Echo Unlimited, one of my favorite brands, sold for $32.59. Now, it's not one of the best selling brands, but it's one of my favorites, especially the old stuff. Paper tag is what you're going to look for, or the tag, not the printed on tag. Albert Einstein shirt. This is cool. It's just Einstein looking chill. Sold for $22. This is an Affliction shirt. Sold for $30. Had a lot of interest in that. It's a polo shirt. Probably should have priced it higher, but it sold right away. Lewd Complex shirt with the sexy mama on the back. Sold for $17. America. Simple Christian, One Nation Under God. Sold for $15. Camber jacket. Sold for $80. Camber. Bolo. Thermal line. Hoodie, workwear. Dopamine sweatshirt says dopamine on the front. Sold for $17.68. This is vintage puppies and kittens. Puppies and kittens. Who doesn't love puppies and kittens? This sleep shirt. $23.74. It sold for Sonic the Hedgehog. This is Knuckles. Sold for $27. Carhartt jacket. This was a fleece jacket, sold for $30, and the NASA women's pants with the astronaut on the side of the knee here, sold for $17. So, guys, we had a pretty good
did this whole
few
video,
weeks,
and about 3 minutes in, the sound started not matching up with my mouth. So it was like watching a old Chinese kung fu movie, like with the words not. It was crazy. So that's the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a long one this time, but remember to buy low, sell high, different bird says hi, and subscribe. See you next time.